He didn't come to speak. He came to listen. But when they laughed at a dreamer in court, Elon Musk stood up, and nothing was the same after that. They called him arrogant. They said he chased too many ideas at once, too bold, too unfiltered. But on that day in a federal courtroom, Elon Musk wasn't launching rockets. He wasn't pitching AI or digging tunnels. He was sitting quietly in the last row, unannounced, uninvited, and absolutely intentional. No press, no statement, just presence. The case? A young inventor accused of stealing technology from a billion-dollar firm, a prototype built in a garage, a company accusing him of fraud, and a courtroom ready to watch him fall. But Musk was there, not as a celebrity, not as a headline, just watching. And when the first insult came, it wasn't to him, it was to the dream. The prosecution didn't waste time. Their tone was sharp, polished, professional, and merciless. "Mr. Rivas," they said to the young man at the stand, "do you expect this court to believe you developed this technology alone, in a garage, with no funding?" Matteo nodded once, his voice barely a whisper. "Yes." A few chuckles rose from the gallery. The lead attorney turned to the jury. "Ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens when fantasy collides with reality. This young man wants you to believe he created a propulsion system superior to what we've invested billions into. And where? In a dusty garage?" More laughter. Matteo looked down. His hands trembled. Just a few rows behind him, Elon didn't move, but his eyes sharpened. No words, just focus. Because for Elon, this wasn't new. He'd lived this mockery before. The defense tried to respond, but the damage was done. Matteo's confidence was shattered. The judge barely looked up. The jury scribbled notes, but not the kind that helped him. Then came the moment that shifted everything. A whisper at first. Soft, but firm. "Permission to speak, Your Honor." Heads turned. Elon Musk stood up, calmly, deliberately. The courtroom froze. The judge raised an eyebrow. "Mr. Musk, this isn't your case." Elon nodded. "I know," he said, "but the future is." The gallery went dead silent. The judge hesitated for a breath. "Proceed, but briefly." Elon walked forward, each step measured, not dramatic, just undeniable. Elon stood, not fast, not dramatically, just deliberately. The leather of his seat creaked. Dozens of heads turned at once. The smirking attorney froze mid-sentence. The judge blinked. "Sir, I don't believe you're on the record for this case." "I'm not," Musk replied, voice low and steady. "But the truth is," the entire courtroom hushed. Phones stopped clicking. Even the PR rep from Argon Tech lowered her gaze. "I've seen this before," Musk said. "I've been this kid, the one mocked for thinking different, the one called crazy for seeing what others don't." He turned to the judge. "You want credentials? I've launched rockets. You want credibility? I've built billion-dollar companies from broken ideas. You want silence? You won't get it from me. Not when I see someone punished for dreaming." He turned to Matteo. The young man was frozen, eyes wide. "You built that system?" Musk asked. "Yes, sir," Matteo whispered. Elon nodded once. "Good. Because when the world laughs at your garage, that means you're on the right track." The judge shifted uncomfortably. "Mr. Musk, this is highly unorthodox." Elon didn't flinch. He stepped forward once more. "What's unorthodox is punishing imagination in a courtroom." Elon took one more step forward. No guards stopped him, no one dared. He looked at the judge, the jury, the crowd, and then straight into the eyes of Matteo. "I remember when I pitched reusable rockets," Musk began. "They said I was a fraud. They said I'd bankrupt myself in 6 months. They laughed until the rockets landed." He paused. "Let the silence do the work. They laughed at Tesla, said EVs were a joke, said batteries could never power dreams. They mocked the future until it became the present." He turned slightly to the audience. "There is a pattern in this room, in every courtroom, in every boardroom, in every classroom that tells a kid to stop asking questions." Musk looked back to the judge. "We punish the curious. We silence the builders. We fear those who dream because deep down we know they're the ones who'll change everything." He pointed gently at Matteo. "He's not on trial here. You are." Gasps rippled across the room. The judge's pen slipped from his hand. Someone in the back whispered, "He's right." Elon's voice softened. "But I didn't come here to shame you. I came to remind you. What makes a civilization great is not order. It's imagination." He stepped back. And in that moment, the courtroom wasn't just silent. It was listening. The judge didn't speak for a full minute. His hands rested on the bench. The courtroom was holding its breath. Matteo stood frozen. Even the Argon Tech attorneys had stopped smirking. Finally, the judge cleared his throat. "Mr. Rivas," he said, voice calm but firm, "your design may not yet be standard. It may not follow corporate protocol or traditional channels. A pause. But that doesn't make it invalid. It makes it bold. He turned to the Argon Tech side. This court finds no evidence of intellectual theft, no violation of proprietary systems, and no grounds for this case to continue. He turned back to Matteo. You are free to go. Gasps, whispers, and then a soft clap. From the back row, Elon Musk. He stood again, this time not as a disruptor, but as a supporter. Matteo looked at him, eyes wide with disbelief. The judge leaned forward slightly. And Mr. Musk, though your methods may not be conventional, I believe your presence here reminded us of something important today. Musk offered a simple nod, then turned and walked out of the courtroom. No cameras, no applause, just quiet respect. Behind him, Matteo remained frozen until he smiled. Not because he won, but because someone like Musk believed in him. Matteo stepped out of the courthouse, blinking against the sunlight. Cameras were already gathering, reporters shouting questions, but none of them mattered. Because standing just a few feet away, waiting calmly, was Elon Musk. He wasn't smiling. Not fully. But there was something in his expression. Approval, maybe even pride. Matteo walked up slowly. Why did you help me? He asked. His voice was small, hesitant. Musk looked ahead, not at him. I didn't come here to help you, he said. I came here to protect the future. A pause. Then he turned. But you? You reminded me of myself. Matteo said nothing. He didn't need to, because for the first time, he didn't feel alone. The crowd began to follow. But Musk lifted a hand, just a simple gesture, and they stayed back. He and Matteo began walking, not toward a car, not toward a camera, but forward, toward something invisible, unbuilt, but waiting. By nightfall, the clip had gone viral. Every major network played it. Every social feed was flooded. The moment Elon Musk stood, the moment he said, "What's on trial is not him. It's the fear of imagination." Comment sections turned from mockery to inspiration. Articles were written. Debates were started. Parents showed their children the video. Teachers played it in classrooms. Matteo received over 100 emails. Some were from universities. Others were from kids. One simply read, "Because of you, I open my old notebook again." But the most powerful message came from Musk himself. A single tweet. Believe in people who build before they're believed. It had over 12 million likes. And counting. The story wasn't about a courtroom anymore. It was about a shift, a reminder that courage can be quiet, that vision doesn't need permission, and that sometimes the most powerful revolution starts with one person standing up for someone who can't. If this story moved you, don't let it end here. Share it with someone who still believes in building. Comment below. Have you ever been silenced for dreaming too loud? Or did someone once stand up for you when no one else did? We want to hear your story. And if you still believe that courage, imagination, and quiet acts of defiance can change the world, subscribe, not just for more stories, but to remind each other, real change doesn't shout, it stands up quietly and echoes forever.